Hi there, this is Not a Driller. This is my submission for the Buildathon Summer 2022. Pretty small room, little 1x1. It's one of the restrictions to keep it, contained in a 1x1 space. Theme is Lost Artifacts, which is this box here. Basically, I'm going to be going through in this video each step on how to complete the puzzle. I'm going to give a little break between showing you what the next step is and then providing the solution so that you can go and potentially attempt it if you're just stuck on one thing. I hope you enjoyed the level, and yeah, let's get on with the solutions. Okay, so first things first, you're probably going to want to come ahead and grab this note here. If you want to read this, by all means, go ahead. And what you're looking for here is this little riddle at the bottom. I'm walked over every day, I say hello but receive no reply. What am I? The solution to that is the doormat. So you can click the doormat, move it across, and pick up this key here. And this will let you get into this cupboard. So got another note here. What you're looking for here is the color coordination, which if you've been observant you may have noticed this lock here has the same colors as on the note. I remember her love for greenery, always around those plants. So you look around the room, and we have 1, 2, and 3 plants. That means 3 goes in this position. And you follow suit for the rest. So, for example, books is red. And some of the books are hidden throughout. So we have 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Next up is the art award, which is this up here, this trophy. It's also given a golden colour, just sort of to help. What we're looking at here is 1, because it's the only golden trophy in the room. And then her eyes. So, need 2. There we are. And this will give you a vase. And if you've already been looking around, you may have been picking these up already. But you can place these in the positions here, according to their size at the base. This gives you access to this key card here, which obviously is pink, goes on here. And this gives you this little obelisk, which you can place on this position here. Okay, now we're inside the cube. As you can see outside, there's the room we started in, which is actually this room that we're still in, but I'll get to that after all of the hints. Yeah, as you can see, you've got this upscaled version of the room outside. I would have liked to have opened all of these drawers, presumably, but I couldn't assume what would be opened by the player, so as such, I've really just moved things that would have been crucial to you completing, the stages to get to this point anyway. So, you've got this note here, which you can read. It's not too much in it to help you, it's really just telling you, what's going on, really. So, in the room we've got a list of spells. Opposite that we have this chart here, some sort of cipher. And on the back wall here, which is what you should be starting with, is a little triangle puzzle. Now, in terms of figuring out the solution to this, in the lower right hand corner, you may notice that this one cannot be moved. And as such is suggesting the way to solve this puzzle is to match what this one is implying. So, move this one to make up the black. Move this one to make up the black, and you just do this for the corresponding colours to their corresponding cubes. There we are. So, now this has given us access to this little control panel here. Now, this is when you're going to be taking a look at the cipher here and referencing back to the list of known spells. What you're looking at here to figure out this cipher is really taking note of the letters and what is in their immediate surrounding. So for example, D is in a D-shaped line without the back, and there's a dot in the lower right corner of that. And you can come over here and reference, and you can see here this would be a D, for example. And you can do that for the other ones. So for example, A, lower right spaced object. So that would be an A. So you'll be using that to primarily solve which one of these you'll be using. As such, only one of these is actually readable using the cipher, and so that means it is equal to the spell you're needing, which is this one here. Take these symbols and simply place them in order here. There we are. So there you go, that's the puzzle. Not too much to it, and like I said, it's been difficult compressing it into this small space, really. I'm going to go over to the editor now and sort of show you how the scale trick's done. Alright, so here we are in the blown up room. This is the big room in comparison to the small room in here. I find it interesting transitioning from this perspective here to this perspective here and sort of seeing all of these things scaled up to such a size. But that's how I've accomplished the trickery of sort of you being scaled down into the cube. This room here is all parented, so all of these crates and cabinets and such are all parented, even the walls and the ceiling. All joined together, and they all get moved away after you solve the obelisk. And that obviously is blinded and sort of camouflaged with the visual effects back here. Sort of white out your screen from the power of the cube. So that's the transition. And just as evidence to the fact that this is in a 1x1, you can see I can build out from these spaces, and I don't have any other rooms nearby. It's all contained within this one room. And as you can see back here, this is just how I did some of the logic. So for example, this one here is triggered by the obelisk, and this in turn triggers the room to be moved, as you can see. The waypoint for this is just way over here, just to move it all out of the way. But yeah, this, for me, I find it easier to think in this way, sort of using these plates as timers, in a way, with the animations going into the trigger zones. I find it easier to just sort of work in that way and figure things out. I'm sure that these days, with the updates that have happened, there's ways of doing this that are far easier, but this is just the way I'm used to and how I do it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the level. I'm looking forward to playing everyone else's level who's competed in the challenge, because I think this 1x1, restriction has really added a lot of thought to make something interesting. Because I don't think you could fit most traditional levels in a 1x1. Thanks for taking the time to play and watch through this video, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.